This class is for the extra, extra, extra. Learn all about it. Coming soon, no showings and hold no showings and MLS enhancements that are taking place on July 21st, 2026. And with that, we'll just go ahead and jump into this. Just want to remind you about your MLS staff, who we are, and how you can reach us. Renee Westfall is our MLS Data and Customer Support Administrator. She handles all of the general assistance, data integrity, think accuracy, as well as our data feeds and data vendor access. So those Realtor.com, Zillow, Homes.com, Trulia, all of those. That is the things that she is the expert at. And if you have a question about that or having a problem with the feed, not maybe sending that listing out right, she would be the person you would want to reach out to. Beth Powers is our MLS compliance administrator. She handles all things rules compliance with the MLS. So if you've got a question about, gosh, how many days do I have for that? Or can I say that? Can I put this in this field? She would be the person that you would want to call. She also handles data integrity as well as system issues. Paragon's not working right. She keeps track of all of that. And she is the liaison for our MLS users group. Denise Bechet is our MLS operations manager. She handles all of our MLS things. She's been with the MLS for 19 years, so there's a lot of knowledge there and experience. She keeps her finger on the pulse of all things MLS world so that she can bring that information back and we can use that information to serve you guys better, because that's really what we're here for. I'm JC. I am your trainer. My job is to take the information from in MLS and bring it back to you in a way that makes it less overwhelming and easier for you to use in your businesses. You can find all of our information at gprmls.com/staff. You can call us, you can text us, and you can email us. We are available Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:45. All right, so hot off the press, today's headline. We've got quite a few here that we're going to talk about. Some of them are super simple. We don't need to spend a lot of time on it. And some of it we're going to go into a little bit more detail. We are going to be talking about HOA established and existing ADU fields, farmed and ranch, subcategories, subtype property categories, parking features, middle school, ranges and ovens, and price status changes, the golf feature, coming soon, no showings, as well as hold no showings. We've got a lot of things that we're going to be talking about. We're going to learn what changed, understand why it matters, and know what to do beginning July 21st. These changes are going to affect visibility, timing, and conversations that you have with your sellers. Some of the key things that we're going to be talking about are what visibility options you have. Sellers have choices about online visibility, participation, and syndication, and whether or not they want their listing to be fed out through the internet. Days on market are going to change with coming soon, no showings, as well as hold no showings. And that will be beginning tomorrow, July 21st. And we're also going to be talking and learning about status limits and data accuracy, trying to change some things so that it is easier to understand, easier to search by, and just more clear for everybody. So let's talk about the first one, HOA established. There has been a field added to the HOA options. When the current HOA yes or no field is set to yes, the new field, HOA established, yes, no, becomes required. So that's the new part. If the HOA is already operational, selecting yes in that new field will make the HOA fee and home HOA field term required. If the HOA is not fully operational, selecting no will allow HOA fee and the HOA fee term to be completed if known, but those will not be required. So try to help you out a little bit. We see that field and that information where it's kind of a little bit fluid. You know there's going to be one, but it's not set up yet. So it allows you to disclose that information in a way that is a little bit easier to understand when you have those issues come up. We also have added a new searchable field for existing ADU, also known as accessory dwelling units. It is being added just below builder and just above lot size range, right over here where you see that on the screen in the screenshot here. This will help identify properties that have an existing ADU dwelling unit and support for better searches, because we have people who that's one of the things that they're looking for, and we haven't been able to search it that way. It's been in, maybe it'll be in public remarks, but you have to rely on it being in there. So now there is a field, and that will help us. Breaking story number 3, farm versus ranch. We've one property subtype and we're making it 2 clearer choices. So what changed? Well, in land, Farm and ranches has been renamed to farm, and ranch is added as a separate property type. So it's no longer merged together all as one. So that'll make things a little bit easier because farm and ranch are two very different things. Breaking story number 4, parking features, garage type. We've clarified that a little bit. So what we're saying with it is instead of saying garage type, we've renamed that field to parking features. So you'll see that in residential. You'll see it in multifamily, residential rental as well. The garage has been added to your parking type features. So you'll have garage added to attached, detached, built-in, tandem, and heated. It just is to help clear up some terminology and make it a little bit more accurate. So instead of seeing garage type, you're going to see parking features, and then you'll have a list of things that you can choose that help describe that just a little bit better. Another terminology cleanup, the kitchen field, it's been renamed to better align with national standards, as well as to make it easier to disclosing out there to buyers. What changed? Well, we currently have range, cooktop, and oven all together, and it is being renamed. So we have range as one and oven as another. So hopefully that will be less confusing to folks. You'll have just the range, and then you'll have just oven, and you could check the box that makes the most sense for your listing. Breaking story number 5, terminology cleanup. The junior high school is going to be renamed to middle school. That will better align with terminology in most school districts. So you will no longer see junior high. It's going to be called middle school. Breaking story number 6, price status change. Increase and decrease statuses are being removed. So what changed? Well, the increase and decrease statuses are going to be disabled. Paragon already tracks the price history automatically. You've seen probably in the market monitor, or when you're looking at a list of properties, you'll see a little arrow down, a little red one or a little green one that shows up. Those are still going to be there, but nobody was really using a price decrease or a price increase. It was just known as a price change. So we still have the price change and the arrows are still there, but the statuses for increase and decrease have been removed. In the multifamily class, we have removed golf feature from the exterior features. There was really no reason for it to be in there. People weren't using it, so there's no historical data that needs to move. And this will also allow for better alignment with national data standards. And the special report, the thing that everybody came to the class for, coming soon, and no showings and hold no showings. The biggest story of the day, right? This status changes how agents and sellers are going to be thinking about visibility, days on market, as well as timing. So coming soon, no showings. It will have an active listing visibility type. Days on market are going to accumulate from the coming soon, no showing status. Sellers do have an option for IDX and VAL. They can choose to have it go ahead and feed out to internet, or they can choose to just have it in the MLS. So that's a discussion you'll have. And there is now a limit. It is a 21 calendar day limit. So you can only use the coming soon, no showing status for 21 calendar days. Let's talk about that just a little bit more. So currently, when you use a coming soon, no showing status, there is no time limit. It does not feed out to IDX or VAL, and there's not really a choice on that. That is just how it works. And it doesn't count on days of market because it wasn't feeding out and there were no showings allowed. So as of July 21st of 2026, days on market is going to start accumulating. So when you put it in coming soon, no showings, and it's live, as we like to say in realtor world, it is accumulating days on market. The IDX and VAL becomes optional. A seller can decide whether or not they want their listing, their property, to be fed out to those third-party websites. If they choose no, you will need a form called the Internet Display Opt-out form so that your seller signs off on that. If your broker has a different form, that's okay. You can utilize that. And then when you're in the MLS and you get in there and whenever you're using a coming soon, no showing status, the available to show date becomes required. So you'll have your list date and your expiration date. And then just after that, because you selected coming soon, no showings as your status, just below that, you have the available to show date. So you'll have to input that. And as long as it's less than 21 calendar days, you should be good. And then you're going to get to a spot where it's asked you IDX/VAL, yes or no. If you check no, then all of the buttons underneath that will be no as well. And when you click save, this listing will just be available within the MLS. It will not feed out to those third-party websites. It won't be seen in automatic email notifications, and it will not be seen in the Collab Center, as well as those other sites such as homes.com, realtor.com, Zillow, stuff like that. There is a 21 calendar day limit that a property can be in the coming soon, no showing status. And coming soon, no showings is meant to be used at the beginning of the listing. Okay, so that's the details with that. So what you need to know, first of all, there is a internet display opt-out form. We just talked about that, and you can see a screenshot of it right here on your screen. There, you're going to have them check the box. They want it to be in there or they don't, and they're going to sign it. And then this is just showing you with those fields with the yes or no. And if you hover over the little I with the circle around it, it will tell you more about that. So you have that as a little reminder as well. Public remarks, forgot to tell you this, when you utilize the coming soon, no showing status, the system is automatically going to add as the very first words in the public remarks. It says coming soon, this property not available for showing. So that will be done for you. Syndication is part of the status setup. We just talked about that. And then the 21 calendar days. You just need to be aware of that as well. All right, let's talk about hold no showings. Hold no showings is meant to be used on a listing once it has been active. So something has happened and they don't want to have showings for 10 days, let's say. If it's more than 7 calendar days, you have to use the hold no showing status. If it's less than that, you don't have to. It also is going to be an active listing visibility type, and days on market are still going to be accumulating while it is in the hold no showings status. They being your sellers, also have a visibility option, so they can choose to allow their property to be fed out to that IDX and VAL options if they want to, or they can say, no, I don't want it to be fed out. I just want it to stay in the MLS. That's that yes or no that we just talked about in the coming soon one. And there is no time limit that a property can stay in the hold no showing status. So that hasn't changed either. So to clarify that, currently, it doesn't, when you use hold no showings, days on market are not counted during that time. Also, seller doesn't have a choice. It does not get set out through IDX or VAL currently. As of July 21st, that will change. Days on market will continue to accumulate. It becomes optional to allow it to be fed out via IDX or VAL, and there's no time limit on how long a property can be in the hold no showing status. All right, so the days on market, things you need to remember. Coming soon, no showings. Your days on market accumulates beginning July 21st. Hold no showings. If it is in the hold no showing status, days on market are still going to accumulate beginning July 21st. And then syndication, you can use the internet display opt-out form if they choose that they do not want it to be fed out to those third-party websites or Paragon's auto emails or Collab Center. And if they want it to be fed out, your IDX include will be marked yes. But if it's no, you'll have that internet display opt-out form as well. All right. That wraps up what we have to talk about today regarding the MLS enhancements that we have, as well as the coming soon and the no showings and the hold no showings. Some resources that are available to you if you go to the website at gprmls.com/training HQ, you will find videos there, as well as what the next upcoming month's classes are going to be, along with a registration button. We, of course, as GPRMLS staff, are here to help you. If you have questions, please do not hesitate to give us a call. That's what we're here for. We have sent out this email. I printed it here. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it has all of the MLS enhancements. If you attended my class in person, you got a copy of this. If you would like to get a copy of it, feel free to give me a shout. You can call me, drop me a text, or email me, and I'll get that over to you. And again, all of these changes go live on July 21st. Thank you so much. You guys have a great day.